You are watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Well, welcome back. A large alligator suspected in the deaths of 2 dogs in Venice is captured. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, Florida Fish and Wildlife captured that gator, calling it one of the largest they'd ever seen. They captured it in Shamrock Park, where a German shepherd running free without a leash was mortally wounded by a gator. Another shepherd has not been found. We'll have more on that investigation coming up at 6.
A viewer captured this video of a hammerhead shark chasing a tarpon on Sunday. Alexis De Jesus said she was leaving Jewfish Island when she spotted the hammerhead chasing the fish. And she wasn't the only one to see a hammerhead shark this weekend. Mike and Heather Amato of Lakewood Ranch were on their jet ski about 200 yards from the shore near Sandbar Restaurant on Anna Maria Island when they spotted a hammerhead as well.
The investigation is now over, and Florida education officials say Manatee County followed all the rules in regards to a year-ending civics exam.
President of the Florida Coalition of School Board Members, Bridget Ziegler, called for the investigation to see if Manatee County falsely inflated its test scores. ABC7's Jackie Kelly joins us live with why the state says Manatee County did nothing wrong. Jackie?
Jacqueline, the question came about after those test scores came back and less students took it than years past. Now Manatee County says that they just have to take that civic exam before they go to high school. There's no specific grade in which they need to take it, and they're finding out that more 8th graders are taking that exam.
The goal here is for students to succeed in our district. And that's through academic achievements.
Manatee County School Board Chairman Scott Hopes says the district is not focusing on when students take the test, but making sure they pass it when they do.
We identified students who needed further reading development and reading comprehension development. Those students didn't even take the civics course. They won't take the civics course until 8th grade. So you would not expect those students to take the civics exam in the 7th grade if they haven't taken civics yet.
Florida Coalition of School Board Members President Bridget Ziegler says they called for the investigation after nearly 1,000 fewer 7th graders took the exam.
The purpose of inquiring on some of the data that had come out, that we felt that there were some irregularities, and just had asked that there be some time to look into it to ensure that it was being used for the purpose it was intended to.
Hope says the idea to shift the civic exam to 8th grade came from the success of Sarasota County schools doing so. He hopes by looking at the data in the future like they did with the civic exam, they can improve the education throughout Manatee County schools.
We've made considerable progress in relying on our analytics to determine when students will be best prepared to be successful with the statewide testing. And this was a perfect example.
Now Ziegler tells me the purpose of the coalition is to ask those tough questions and make sure students are at the proper learning level. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jackie Kelly, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jackie, thank you. We're getting a break from the afternoon storms today.
Kind of nice to be able to not have them, but you know, sometimes those afternoon showers do bring a little coolness into the air.
Yeah. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with more on what's happening today.
Yeah, my lawn could use it too. We didn't get much over the weekend west of I-75. Yeah, there were a few isolated showers near the coast, but most of the activity was inland. And today, not much around at all, inland or near the coast. This is a Chris. Chris is a tropical storm, but soon to be Hurricane Chris, and then it stays away from the U.S. coast, although it's been sitting there and spinning, rather ominous. I know a lot of folks in North Carolina as well as into South Carolina kind of concerned about it. I would be too, but the forecast path and track have it going off to the northeast and eventually opening up to a low pressure system. Top winds are at 70. Tomorrow I suspect this will be a hurricane. Conditions are favorable for development. It's right over the Gulf Stream, and it looks as though winds will be light enough for it to get going here over the next 24 to 48 hours. We are anticipating, however, to get some high surf along the east coast from the mid-Atlantic coast northward. Well, our friend, it looks like Beryl has really lost its punch too, and that's a result of winds blowing out of the southwest at 30 miles an hour in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, just ripping this thing apart. You can see all the cirrus clouds on the east side there and the west side getting sheared, but still, this is a tremendous amount of rain falling now in Puerto Rico, heading off toward the Dominican Republic. Now, for us, this system is not going to be a factor, I don't think, in terms of redeveloping and causing problems for us. But for the Northern Bahamas, certainly it could, as most of the models agree that it will go in that direction, and then could redevelop right here and head off to the northeast. As far as we're concerned, we may see a little increase in moisture availability here on Wednesday and Thursday. A little trough of low pressure will work its way overhead. But as far as rain goes, pretty sparse across the Suncoast. Details on the rest of the work week coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Tigers, gators, geckos, what do you think would make the best mascot for the new high school being built in Manatee County? Construction is now underway for North River High School on Erie Road, and it should be open by next August. But the Manatee County School District is asking for your help now to choose a mascot. You can mail your choice in to the School Support Center. Once the nomination period is over, a committee will narrow down the list to 4 to 6 options. The middle schoolers in that area will make the final decision.
I like the Gators personally. The Baltimore Orioles kicking off the first in a series of youth baseball clinics at Sarasota's Ed Smith Stadium complex today. The Orioles hosting kids from the Visible Men Academy, all part of the organization's Sarasota 365 campaign. The team will also host other groups like Oak Park School, the Manatee YMCA, and Girls Incorporated.
Good day out here to get the kids out of here, kind of get them out of their comfort zone, and you know, just try to teach them the game, have some fun out here, you know, present them with something that they wouldn't normally be doing on a summer day. So as fun as it is for them, I know for us, you know, us players, it's just as equally as fun.
The Orioles giving back today, and a recent analysis concluded the team generates nearly $100 million a year in economic activity for the Suncoast.
And you know those kids had to love that today.
Oh, never forget it, yeah. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the Federal Aviation Administration is declining to regulate airline seating. And
a new trick to keep you and your car safe from key fob hackers. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, and you're struggling to pay your bills while your case is dragging on, that's where Oasis Financial comes in. Only Oasis has Oasis Express Cash that can get you from $500 to $25,000 in as little as 24 hours, faster than anyone else. There's no risk and no out-of-pocket cost.
It was so simple. I made one phone call. Oasis was able to give me the money within 24 hours.
To pay for my electric bill, my rent, and my groceries for my children.
And even if you end up losing your case, Oasis lets you keep the money, so there's absolutely no risk to you. You don't have to worry about repaying Oasis.
If I had lost my case, then I wouldn't be responsible for paying the money back. And that was a blessing.
Oasis, they killed it, man. They helped me out. They gave me my life back.
See how much money you can get before your case settles. Call Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case. 1-800-874-8185. 1-800-874-8185.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary. And I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Snacks are a good way to stay energized when spending the day hitting the waves, but before you pack your car for the beach, it's good to consider what snacks you're bringing and how to keep them safe. Here's Kim Hutcherson with some tips.
It's time for some summer fun in the sun, and if that means hitting the beach, you're probably hauling a cooler filled with snacks and refreshments. But between the sand and the heat, keeping those items cold, safe, and free of grit can be challenging. Start with packing items in 2 different coolers if possible, one for drinks and one for food. Perishables shouldn't be out in the sun for more than an hour, so if there's shade from an umbrella or even a towel, store the coolers there. Kebabs are easy to make and eat, and with a stick holding everything together, you don't have to worry about sandy hands. Switch it up by making kebabs with fruit, veggies, and some cheese. Nutrition experts stress the importance of having satisfying and healthy snacks on hand when spending hours outside in the heat. Nutty trail mix can satisfy hunger, and fruits with vitamin C, which can help limit damage from UV rays, are also great go-to grabs. Finally, make sure you stay well hydrated with water, 100% fruit juices, and flavored waters. Limit your alcohol intake, which can dehydrate you quickly under the hot sun. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
And I can attest to the fact that the ice cream bars go really quick. I was out at Palmasola and had to eat it real quick before it melted away. Get a look at this. This is the fire rainbow. It's called fire rainbow, but not really. It's again, a circumcumulus arc really out there, in a horizontal arc, if you will. You can see it right there. Different colors. It looks like a rainbow. This was by Curtis Gingrich, and he sent this in along with his friend, again, Stevie Nicks. Appreciate those photos. KC Key webcam showing flat, calm conditions out there on the waters. All this smooth going as far as boating is concerned. We have had pretty quiet weather out there all day long, and it will stay that way too tomorrow. Seas will be running less than 2 feet, and generally a light to really smooth conditions out on the bays and in the water. Some showers to the north of us associated with a little outflow from Chris, which is spinning off the Carolina coast. One of those tried to get into northwest of Manatee, but not much success there. It was pretty active. This will create an outflow boundary, which we could spawn a few isolated cells here into east and southeast portions of Manatee County in the next hour or so. But a limited shower activity, the rain chance less than 20% tonight for some coastal action. And it looks as though a lot of dry air keeping things pretty quiet with a hurricane or a near hurricane nearby off the Carolina coast. That's a result of just a tremendous amount of dry air that's in place. The storm center is over 200 miles east-southeast of the South-North Carolina border right there. You can see it spinning around. There's that dry air I mentioned all throughout South Carolina and throughout Georgia, even into Florida now, and that is limiting our afternoon and evening thunderstorms here, although the models are suggesting we may see 1 or 2 isolated showers, which isn't out of the question. I kind of concur with that, and some showers off in the Gulf tomorrow morning to start things off. We'll see the active sea breeze tomorrow. I think a little bit better chance to seeing a few scattered storms along the coast as a result of that sea breeze starting to pop back into the picture, and then a little trough of low pressure will keep a pretty good chance for afternoon and evening thunderstorms in the mix on Wednesday as well. So we'll get back to our summer pattern here. Not a widespread event, but nonetheless it will be there. Widespread rain event now taking place over Puerto Rico, heading off into the Dominican Republic as well as Haiti over the next couple of days now. That system will track off through the Bahamas and eventually could regenerate into another tropical depression or tropical storm. It would keep the same name. And Chris obviously looking a little bit better this evening. You can see what clearly is a center there. This is on the verge of becoming the second hurricane of the season. Elsewhere, things are fairly quiet in the tropics. There it goes off to the northeast as a trough of low pressure picks it up and moves it off into the open waters of the Atlantic. Canada, some of the Maritimes may see some of that action there. Water temperature is extremely warm in the southeast Gulf as well as into southwestern portions of the Atlantic right now. 90-degree water temperature off the coast of Miami. If any storms were to enter into this picture, would be a little bit dangerous if the upper level winds would calm down, but they're not right now. They're very strong winds through this region, through the Caribbean. That's the reason why Beryl kind of faded away at this point. Now for us, temperature-wise, it's hot here. We could use some afternoon showers to cool us down. all into the 90s with the exception of right on the water, Cortez and Avon Park now at 89. The Gulf water temperature at 88 degrees. It's 88 in Inglewood and 93 in Northport, 91 in Mayaca City. Currently at the airport it's 90 and we have lots of sunshine out there. Feels like temperature at 99 degrees, west to northwest winds at 13. The high today was 2 degrees shy of setting a record, or at least tying it. 93 degrees, the official high at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. We'll warm up tomorrow into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. The heat index will get close to 100 again. There'll be a few more afternoon and evening showers in the flow later on in the afternoon as that sea breeze kicks in later on in the day. Well, it's hot again up in Detroit and Toronto and Boston and Chicago, all in the 90s there. It will be a little bit cooler in some of those cities, like Detroit will get up to 87 tomorrow. A little bit cooler in Cleveland too at 81, but still hot in St. Louis and Kansas City, stretching all the way down into Dallas. Nationally, they got some rain finally out west to help battle some of those fires, and there's pretty much a zonal flow, which we call a summer flow, west to east across the U.S., but we do expect this trough to develop and eventually pick up, Chris, and head it off into the open waters of the Atlantic. Well, for boating tomorrow, looks to be pretty quiet out there, light chop, seas running less than 2 feet, and the 7-day forecast shapes up for afternoon and evening storms, maybe a little less action on Saturday and Sunday as high pressure builds in and some dry air settles in, but temperatures still staying quite hot. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Right now we are seeing backups heading north on US 41 into Palmetto just after the DeSoto Bridge. Also some backups heading into downtown Bradenton from Palmetto as well.
Tonight, a group of elderly and disabled tenants at a Northport senior living community say they're suffering because of a broken elevator.
People in wheelchairs tell ABC7 they've been trapped in their homes for days at Willow Creek Apartments off of US 41 in Northport. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo spoke to some desperate residents. He joins us now live with how they're feeling tonight. Dwayne.
Well, guys, it's an elevator they heavily depend on, especially for those who are handicapped. They've been venting their frustration, asking questions, but they say they're not getting any answers.
The struggle is real for Donald Johnson, living on the 3rd floor of his senior community complex. He suffers from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. To make matters worse, the elevators have been out of order for almost 2 weeks.
This is a nightmare. I would have never come here if I'd known the elevators were this bad.
Johnson has been stuck in his apartment since the elevators have been inoperable. Unable to walk 3 stories up the stairs, he has a friend helping him with basic duties that he says he should be doing on his own.
I cannot carry bags up those stairs. I can hardly carry myself up the stairs. I can't breathe.
In some cases, residents say it takes 10 to 15 minutes to go up and down the stairs. A group of residents have gone as far as to put together a resident satisfaction survey, asking questions such as, do you have any unaddressed safety concerns or maintenance issues? In the 5 years that Rosemary Charlton has lived here, she says the conditions have gotten worse.
The on-site office management is saying if they needed to get outside to call 911. So basically, these people are trapped.
It's hard, especially in this heat.
But for Wilma Panzer, who also has COPD, she doesn't have a choice.
Well, my little dog has seizures, so when she goes into a seizure, she has to go outside. So I have to sometimes pick her up and carry her.
It's a hardship for many of these residents who depend on a working elevator.
Well, I don't ask for much. Look, I'll be 80 years old in a week. I mean, I just want the elevator working so I can come and go, do my things.
Well, that was Dwayne Lindo reporting. Now, we did get information from the Northport Fire Marshal, who did make a couple visits out there. He says recent lightning strikes to the buildings have impacted the elevators, and those elevators are non-emergency use only. We also tried Good Harbor Management LLC, the company who owns the property. We left a message but did not receive a response.
In consumer news, Nissan admits it altered the results of exhaust emissions and fuel economy tests of new vehicles sold in Japan. In September, Nissan acknowledged that it had been carrying out illegal post-production tests at its plants, allowing those who were not qualified to routinely conduct those tests. The new misconduct surfaced while Nissan was checking on its operations recently. Nissan said the findings are regretful and it promised to continue to investigate.
Despite safety concerns and numerous complaints made by travelers, the Federal Aviation Administration says it has found no need to regulate airline seat size and legroom. Flyers' Rights, a consumer advocacy group, requested that the FAA establish guidelines for seat dimensions. The group argued that shrinking seats and narrow rows reduce the possibility of a safe emergency evacuation, especially for larger passengers. However, the FAA says that current seat size is not a safety issue.
Keystone RV Company recalling more than 5,000 Cougar recreational trailers that have an outdoor propane grill. The outdoor propane grill is installed in a wooden assembly that may not have enough clearance from the heated area. If the wooden assembly is exposed to high temperatures, there could be an increased risk of a fire. The affected trailers are 2018 and 19 models. Keystone will notify owners and dealers will replace the wooden assembly with a metal assembly and do it all free of charge.
Well, a growing number of new cars use a keyless ignition, and as long as drivers have possession of a key fob, that car starts with the push of a button. Well, that's been a helpful tool for car thieves. Many hackers find that it's not so hard to hack into that key fob, unlock the doors, and then start the engine while the owner has the key fob in his or her possession. A retired FBI agent says to wrap key fobs in aluminum foil when the car is not in use. This will prevent thieves from getting access to it electronically.
Another thing to worry about.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. Well, entertainment news is coming up next. Stay with us.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
In entertainment news, the future of the Miss America pageant is up in the air once again.
Tonight, former Miss America winners and state pageant officials are split over the leadership and direction of the pageant. The organization was rocked by a 2017 scandal that led to the resignations of its top official and trustee board. Now, representatives from 22 state pageants have signed a petition calling for the resignations of the new Miss America board, including Chairwoman Gretchen Carlson and President and CEO Regina Hopper. The petition expresses a vote of no confidence, but in another letter, 30 former Miss Americas say they fully support Carlson and the board members.
Harvey Weinstein pleading not guilty to new sexual assault charges. He arrived in court this morning for his arraignment on charges including 2 counts of predatory sexual assault, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Weinstein was released on a $1 million bail. He turned in his passport and will continue wearing a monitoring device while under house arrest.
Anthony Bourdain was worth $1.2 million when he passed away last month, and according to court papers filed this week, he left most of the estate to his 11-year-old daughter. The court will appoint a guardian ad litem to represent her because she is a minor. Bourdain's will instructs his ex-wife, Octavia, to dispose of his accumulated frequent flyer miles and other possessions like cars, furnishings, and jewelry in a way that she believes he would have wanted. Bourdain was also dating actress Asia Argento at the time of his death, but she was not mentioned in his will.
Drake's new album, Scorpion, has only been out a week, but it's already been streamed more than 1 billion times. This is the first time an album has crossed the billion mark in 1 week's time. Scorpion is also Drake's 8th consecutive album to top the charts. It includes a guest appearance by Jay-Z and a previously unreleased vocal by Michael Jackson. One of the songs on the album, In My Feelings, has even started a viral dance challenge. Scorpion will be released on CD July 13th.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather after the break.